maybe I'm just a little crazy up there. I love a dangerous MMC, and that sounds like a damn good time if you ask me. It's probably why Zodiac Academy is one of my favorites. I'm excited to yap about books I haven't read yet. Hey, hi, what's up, guys? Welcome to my Caffeinated Chaos. I'm Cassie, and today we're gonna yap about my spring TBR slash like my priority reads for 2026 because I am a mood reader. So as much as I would love to read all of these this spring, I'll be shocked if we come and do our spring wrap up and I've read all of these because your girl is a mood reader. All right, mood reader. So I picked 10 books for my TBR. I am currently reading the Windy City series since the spring starts next week. I don't think I'm going to get through I think there's 2 more books for that series before then. So we'll see if I do, but that is going to be my number 1. I'm currently reading Play Along. If you don't know anything about the Windy City series, the series follows a group of professional athletes in Chicago and the women that kind of end up in their orbit. So the first book was a hockey player, the second book was a basketball player, the third book is a baseball player, and then the fourth book, which I'm currently reading Play Along, is also a baseball player. So each book focuses on a different couple. You don't necessarily have to read them in order. However, I personally would not recommend reading them out of order because you just get like bits of each character in each of them. And being on the fourth book, I already loved the male main character on the fourth book before I even started because of how he was in the previous books. So I would definitely recommend reading them in order. And as of right now, being on the fourth book, I'm obsessed. It's my first ever sports romance or contemporary romance in a very, very long time. And I am eating it. It is found family. There's a lot of mental health that they touch on, which I love that. The guys are protective and obsessed with the FMCs. Give it to me. Give it to me. I love it. It's so great. So that is going to be like the first one on my list. And then we're going to go ahead and we're just hopping right in. We're going to go down these lists. I'll tell you a little bit about them. And I'm excited to yap about books I haven't read yet. My next priority read and what I think I'm going to read next is going to be Binding 13. I have never read any of the Boys of Tommen series. I think I'm going to love it because it is very heavy with like emotional things from what I've seen, and like I tend to like darker themed books. So this is the first book in the series. So I'm going to go ahead and just read the back of it. So I don't want to give you any spoilers. I don't want any spoilers. So we're just going to go ahead and read what they give us. He wants to save her. She wants to hide. She's damaged. He's determined. Fate brought them together. Love binds them. Johnny Kavanagh, I hope I'm saying that right, has everything going for him. On the rugby pitch, he's a force to be reckoned with, even plagued with a hidden injury. Everyone knows he's heading straight for the top, but that means there's no room for mistakes or distraction. Not even the shy new girl at Tom in college. The one with the sad eyes and concealed bruises. He needs to stay focused, keep his cool, and not let anything get in the way of the bigger picture. Except before he knows it, this lonely girl has become his only picture. Life has never been easy for Shannon Lynch. Bullied and tortured, she arrives at Tom in college midway through the school year, praying for a fresh start and desperate to shake off the demons that plague her. But when she meets the notorious Johnny Kavanagh on her first day, her plans to keep a low profile are at serious risk as they fall into a complicated friendship and grapple with their undeniable chemistry. Hidden pain and complicated secrets threaten to be their undoing, but Johnny won't give up on Shannon, no matter what it might cost them both. Sounds amazing. So many of my favorite book talkers recommend this series, and I wasn't gonna read it because I do believe that they are in high school because even though it says college, pretty sure it's not set in the US. So I think they are younger, and there was like a lot of discourse on Book Talk about that, and it kind of like turned me off. But you know what? I think I'm gonna love it. I love the House of Night series, and they're high schoolers. So I definitely think I'm gonna read this next or very soon, if not next. The third book on the list, which these are not necessarily in order now from this point on. Binding 13 has just been really high on my TBR, so that's kind of like the next thing I'm thinking I'm going to read. But I also am like kind of like, do I want to read like a mafia romance or get back into fantasy after the Windy City? So I don't know. We'll see. Third on the list is going to be Two Twisted Crowns. I read One Dark Window like a year and a half ago, and I just didn't have my hands on this yet. And now I do, and I've had it for a little while, but I have a feeling I'm going to reread One Dark Window first because your girl forgets books like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I know I loved it. I think I'm going to reread One Dark Window and then read Two Twisted Crowns. Oh, my son made me a bookmark that's in this book. I was like, what is that? So I don't want to necessarily read the back of this, give any spoilers for One Dark Window. But One Dark Window is a dark fantasy. It is set in a world where magic is controlled through Providence cards. And the kingdom is ruled by fear of magic users, and people with magical abilities are hunted. It's a little like darker vibes to it. The rebellion for that kingdom, they're on a hunt for these 12 Providence cards that they're hoping will like break a curse, essentially. So we're following Elspeth. I really suck at names, so don't judge me. We're following her, and she is possessed by a spirit that you meet in the first book, right? So I don't want to say too much because I just don't want to give anything away. This is a dark gothic fantasy. There's morally gray characters. There's a little bit of like romance, but romance I definitely would say would be like a subplot for this. It is not a romantasy in any way, in my opinion. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this. I was really liking the first one, like I said, and I just didn't have my hands on this one. So I want to finish this duology like soon, very soon, hence why it's on the list. The next one I don't have a physical copy of. I don't have a physical copy of all these books. The next one is Fractured Fates by Hannah Hayes. This book is an academy setting fantasy book, and I am a sucker for an academy setting. A sucker, okay? I mean, that's probably why Zodiac Academy is one of my favorites. And at this academy, students are learning how to control their magic, or their supernatural powers that are tied to fate and their magical bloodlines. The FMC is like navigating her way through her place there at the academy, discovering her abilities, and then she's discovering that she's way more powerful and dangerous than she knew. Her connections with multiple powerful men, so I don't know, maybe this ends up being a why choose. I really don't know much about it. I just know that I added it to my TBR and it looks like something that I would eat it up. So let's do it. So it's like an enemies to lover energy, or at least that's how it's marketed, I guess. I feel like some enemy to lovers aren't true enemy to lovers, so we'll see. I enjoy those books. If you don't, I get it. I totally get it, but I enjoy those, okay? And there's like obviously going to be like political magic drama. So I think I'm going to really enjoy that one. So that's kind of high on my TBR right now. And I think I'll just eat it up. Like I said, I'm a sucker for an academy setting, especially in a fantasy book. Fifth on the list is going to be King of Wrath by Anna Huang. The only book I've ever read by Hannah Huang is Twisted Love. And I did not continue with the Twisted series. If you think I should, please let me know in the comments below, because I don't know. I don't even necessarily know why I didn't. I just was like, this just isn't for me, and I didn't continue it, which is weird because I usually will just roll through a series whether I love the first book or not. But the King of Wrath one, I just see it, once again, a lot of my favorite booktubers, book talkers talk about it, so I'm like, maybe I should give that a try. It's going to be a arranged marriage with a billionaire and a daughter of a wealthy family. So I'm thinking maybe there'll be like some mafia vibes to it. I don't really know. I'm not at all sure. Maybe it's going to just be like a billionaire romance. I've never read one of those. And this year I really want to like dip my toes in stuff that's different. You're following Dante Russo and Vivian Lau. Dante has no interest in getting married, but Vivian's father blackmails him into the marriage. So I feel like I'm already liking it. I'm already liking it. I'm sure there's going to be some like trauma bonding happening. I have a feeling. I don't know, but I just want to see if I like it and maybe go ahead and continue with that series if I do. So that is also pretty high up on my TBR. Next is Ruthless Creatures by JT. I know I'm going to murder this name. Jessiner. I'm not sure at all how you say the last name. I have had this downloaded on my Kindle forever because I just know I'm going to eat it up. So if I don't read Binding 13, I think I might read this one next. This is going to be a mafia romance with a dangerous MMC, and I love a dangerous MMC. Possessiveness, suspense, and there's spice as well. So it sounds like a good old time. For a little synopsis of it, Natalie has spent 5 years grieving her fiance who disappeared without any explanation. She's finally trying to go ahead and move on with her life, and then this mysterious and dangerous man appears. That man is Cage Porter, a mafia enforcer who knows far more about her husband's disappearance than he initially lets on, okay? So Natalie is drawn to Cage despite his obvious darkness, and their relationship quickly turns intense and explosive, and that sounds like a damn good time if you ask me. So I'm really excited to go ahead and dig myself into that one as well. A lot of these books are definitely series, so there's a good chance as soon as I read one, I'm just gonna into the next. So that's why I'm also like, I don't know how many of these I'll get through in the spring, because if I'm reading a whole series, obviously that's going to take a little bit longer than just one book. The 7th on the list is another one that is like really high on my TBR and has been downloaded on my Kindle forever because I need to read it, because I just know I'm going to love Diana. Okay, I know it. So if you don't know what it is just from that name, it's The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. This is an epic dark fantasy, enemies to lovers, immortal beings, morally gray heroine. And there's nothing I love more than a freaking morally gray FMC. I eat it up. Eat it up. This one is going to follow Diana, and she's a woman bound by a magic contract to serve a dark, powerful, cruel, godlike being. To survive, she has to turn into this morally gray like weapon that can be ruthless and deadly and wielded. But then her life is going to change when she meets Sam Keel. I should look up these names, honestly. Who is an ancient celestial ruler known as the World Ender. Love him already. And he's trying to keep the fragile balance of the realms intact. As their stories collide, Diana begins questioning the deal that she made and that enslaved her, and the truth about the cosmic war between the gods and the monsters. Their alliance quickly becomes complicating, and attraction and secrets and looming threat of world-ending power. And I just cannot wait to see this. Okay, I just have heard so many great things. I think Aves is like one that talks about her a lot, and I love a lot of books that she reads, so I feel like I'm gonna love this one. At least I hope I do. The last 3 on this list are a trilogy because I'm definitely going to read all 3, so I wanted to include all 3 on them. And this is going to be the Edge of Darkness trilogy. Okay, so we have Insatiable, Voracious, and Restitution. This is by Lee Rivers, and it is an extremely dark romance, obsessive, psychological tension. It's a messy, toxic love story, and I have heard nothing but amazing things about this series or this trilogy. So I'm like, I have to try it, right? It sounds right up my alley. So this is a dark romance that explores obsession, trauma, and destructive love. The story follows a deeply complicated relationship between 2 main characters whose past trauma and psychological wounds create a toxic but addictive connection. The MMC is possessive and intense, while the FMC struggles with her own identity and her emotional scars. And I love main characters with a traumatic backstory. I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe it's my traumatic backstory. Maybe I'm just a little crazy up there. Maybe it's the Aries in me. I don't know what it is, but a traumatic backstory, give it to me. Okay, give it to me, please. I want to really give this one a go. I'm definitely going to read this one. I don't know if I'm going to get to this like right away or what, but as you can tell, the majority of this list, there's a little bit of like dark vibes to it. That is something that I look for in a book. So if you are a book girly who likes like darker themes, darker vibes in a book, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Let's be friends. Follow me on TikTok. I'm super active over there. I think it'll be fun when we come back and see like how I did on this spring TBR. So that's 10 technical books, but with the Windy City series, I do still have, so I'm on Play Along, and then I have Rewind It Back, and then I do want to read In Her Own League that just came out as well, even though it's like technically a spin-off series. Maybe I'll wait and like put a pause on that one, but I have a feeling because I've been just devouring the rest of the Windy City series, I'm just going to hop right into that one. So this is a lot more than 10 books technically, because I like the Book of Azrael, for example, I have a feeling I'm going to read the whole series. Binding 13, probably want to read the whole series. There's definitely more to it than just the 10 books, but that's a little gist of where I think my spring's going. And I cannot wait. Okay, cannot wait. Hold on, drink break. This is one of my favorite flavors. If you are still here hanging out with me, I freaking love you. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Please do not forget to hit that like and subscribe and follow me over on TikTok. I cannot wait to come back and tell you what I think about all these books and see where we end at the end of spring. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.